Last year, the Boston Bruins finished a surprising last in the division. And this is a division that features the Wings and the Sabres. So that's really saying something. 76 points. Tied them with the Flyers.
Damn.
Now, part of that was self-inflicted because Cam Neely was like, no, I will not pay Jeremy. Okay, fine, I'll pay Jeremy Swayman. But it's too late. You missed training camp. Boston, the over-under for Boston is bonkers this year to me.
Okay.
Bonkers. I'm not going to tell you whether it's bonkers good or bonkers bad. I love when you guys guess. Give me a guess.
What did they have last season?
76 points.
82.5.
82.5. Jesse.
73.5.
No, it's not that low. It's 80.5. 80.5. Now, this is a team, missed their goalie through training camp. Their top two defensemen who are all-stars were not playing most of the season. I mean, this is a team that was cursed by some bad luck and some bad moves, and we'll get into those. Jesse, though, you have something you wanted to hit on.
Yeah, the Bruins have the worst odds to win the Atlantic Division. The Red Wings have the second worst odds. They're 36-1 to win the division. What do you think the odds are that the Bruins win the Atlantic are?
50-1.
Adam?
It's got to be something lower than that, like 20, 25?
No, I just said the Red Wings are 36-1.
I know. Oh, and they're, I know.
Odds.
Okay, so Boston just have the worst.
Boston
God. I don't know. 45-1.
101-1.
That's ridiculous. This team is not that bad. No way.
Nobody thinks they're good.
No way.
Nobody in the sports betting market thinks they're good.
That's insane.
That's 100.
That's scary.
Put down $1, you got $100 back.
I might need to rethink my picks here.
It's the Bruins. Like, there is...
You're nuts to underestimate these guys.
By that, listen, I don't have them making the playoffs. I don't have them winning the division.
Yeah.
Steven.
But as a Leafs fan, have you lost your mind underestimating them to that degree?
I don't know.
I think that's insane.
Okay, let's get into it.
That's insane.
Their
path to relevance again is the most obvious thing in the world, and we all agree. Swayman returning to being one of the best goalies in the world seems like a fairly easy task given how he began last season. And they're going to regain an all-world first pair that they had for less than a quarter of the season in Hampus Lindholm and Charlie McAvoy. Boom, boom, boom. Those three guys alone. A guy who's going to play 50-plus games for you in net and a first pair that's going to play 22 to 25 minutes a night.
Yeah.
They're going to, you're in every game.
Yes.
Automatically.
Yes.
Automatically by having those two.
This is why I think they're criminally underrated.
Yeah. Add to that, at one of the most truly elite offensive players in the entire NHL in David Pastrnak.
Right.
They are not deep like they used to be. There's more youth than there used to be. There's more question marks than there used to be. But by the four guys that I outlined, you're not even sort of appreciating how elite they are.
Well, and it's interesting hearing in this, in the lead up to the season that Pavel Zacha's name is out there and could be had.
That's surprising.
That is surprising. I don't know what it says about where they think they are, but there is some clunky parts of this roster, and then there's parts of this roster you're like, man, that's pretty hard to hate on. I want to talk about goaltending and how important it is that Jeremy Swayman's starting the season, under contract, and Cam Neely obviously made a joke about that. Missing training camp was devastating to his season. End of story.
Yes.
That alone is like the biggest story of the Bruins. If he plays 50 games and he's great, like he always has been, like Vezina caliber,
yes,
Bruins are in the playoffs.
Probably, or at very least in the hunt.
I don't know about the playoffs.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think just a decent season from Swayman gets them into the playoffs. I think there's so many holes in the forward group that I don't anticipate them to be very good at all. The
Elias Lindholm contract is, I think, a very under-talked about disaster. Unless he can get back to form, I don't think whatever was going on last year, he was not good enough.
But what's interesting is by the fact that Zacha's name is out there, to me, that suggests the Bruins...
No, they love him. They tried to trade for him. They wanted him from
Yeah.
Calgary, and then they wanted him from Vancouver.
So to me, it suggests they have some faith internally that he can step up. So not just not have the season that he had last year, but step up into a larger role.
He's a good player. I don't know if he's a great player. And I look at the way, okay, let me just give you his goal lines the last couple of years, okay? He had 42. We all remember that.
Of course.
Fell off to 22 the next year.
That's large.
Then 15.
Oof.
Then 17 last year.
That 42's...
What's more likely here, guys?
It's getting smaller in the rear view, eh? Yeah. If he gets back into the, let's say, high 20s or 30s.
That's a big if, guys. Big if.
Know.
Okay, let's move on to other players on this team. Obviously, let's go to Casey Middlestat's an interesting one because maybe the reason Zacha is available is they really believe in what Casey Middlestat can do. He didn't work out so well in Colorado. You're making a face. Both of you actually are making the same face. Interestingly enough,
I don't know.
Well, you're not a big Casey Middlestat guy.
So many kicks to the can with Casey Middlestat in his career. Like I think we've kind of reached and we know what he is, and a lot of teams have been trying and barking up the Middlestat tree, and it hasn't worked out. Like I can't get past the forward group and the lack of scoring that they have. They have Pastrnak and they have Geeky. Geeky had one hell of a season, 33 goals. Pastrnak, he's obviously otherworldly, one of the best in the league.
Poor Geeky might have had the most underrated season of anyone in the NHL.
Oh yeah. Like it really went under notice because the team was so bad. Outside of those two players, no 20-goal score. Outside of those two players, nobody over 50 points.
And, some people might be screaming, like, you haven't even talked about the fact that they don't have Marchand. People forget Marchand actually kind of didn't have the greatest regular season.
No. Yeah. Victor Arvidsson is a guy I've got an eye on because last year, 15 goals with the Oilers, it just didn't work out. But in his last full season, which was 22-23, 77 games, 26 goals, 59 points, is it possible that he can get to 80% of that? At this point, they signed him at $4 million.
Here's the thing. I have faith in the Bruins because I've been burned too many times by being like, maybe this time they'll stink, and they never do. They just, during this recording, hired Zdeno Chara in like an advisory role.
As they should.
And he's just going to rub off leadership qualities and stoic Instagram posts and all sorts of stuff on the team. But they got a lot of bets going on. I have faith that a lot of those bets are going to work out, but if Arvidsson is like a barely like in your lineup guy like he was for Edmonton, if Marat Kuznetsov, who was a bet of theirs, doesn't turn into a guy who can put up anything in terms of goal scoring, if the young guys are just that, young guys who are trying to establish themselves in the NHL, if Tanner Jeannot,
who doesn't score,
right, there's a world where I think they're going to end up okay, but there's a world where they suck.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be, or they're just the four guys that I mentioned.
Jesse, what do you think on the fact that specifically looking at this lineup, like a Tanner Jeannot and Victor Arvidsson, that's $7.4 million that they added in those two wingers. Was that good money?
No, like Tanner Jeannot shouldn't be earning that contract at this point in his career because we kind of know what Tanner Jeannot is. Like we've seen teams, like we saw it not work out in Tampa. We saw it not work out in LA. So like third time's the charm. It's going to work out in Boston. I think that's a lot of money for a player who has proven he's not what the assets Tampa gave up for him are.
And he's not like Trent Frederick replacement. Frederick was hurt. And Frederick in the seasons before it where he wasn't hurt, Tanner Jeannot in recent memory has proven he can't do that. And since his rookie year, really, he has proven he can't do that.
And if you're asking to get more out of this roster, outside of like you want the players to play above expectations, right?
Yep.
You see the names, you see what's on paper, and you're like, it's not that good, but maybe we could squeeze some more juice out of it. You have coming in, and I'm sorry we didn't get to this earlier in the preview, run up on 10 minutes, but they have a new head coach.
Yes,
like I don't think that should go without being said. They switched over their head coach. I think they made a hasty decision last year to get rid of a very good head coach.
Yeah.
And now they have Marco Sturm. And I think it's very funny that Don Sweeney, lifetime Bruin, Cam Neely, lifetime Bruin, bring in the lifetime Bruin of Marco Sturm.
Yeah.
Sturm, and now Chara's in the picture.
Oh, yeah. And you mentioned Chara's there. So they're all just kind of running the same thing back, and it hasn't worked for the last half decade. So I don't have faith that they kind of know what they're doing. And I'm kind of running out of time for Sweeney and Neely. Just the way they handled Swayman was a disaster. And like since their run in 2019, it hasn't been a successful time in Bruins land.
Except for when they set the wins record and then choked.
And then, no, so that wasn't success.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't good.
Yeah.
That was a disaster.
They have struggled against teams in the playoffs not named the Toronto.
Man.
Yeah.
I got to say.
Speaking of which, that's how they make the playoffs.
You guys
Fraser Minton for Selke.
You guys have talked me down off of where I had the Bruins. Where do you have them?
It's funny. I
had them higher than I think I'm going to put them.
I went to bat for them so hard. Sixth.
Where were you going to put them?
I was thinking about putting them as high as fourth.
Wow.
Be confident in your pick. Don't let us.
I think where I'm struggling is where Tampa and Montreal finish. But
Yes.
I will
Tampa.
keep the Bruins at fourth. But I got major concerns with Tampa with their injury situation. But Boston, I'm going to say fourth. I'm going on a limb. It's hard for me as a Toronto fan to bet against the Bruins. Jesse, where do you have them?
I'm siding with the betting markets. I think they're last.
Wow. All right. We'll see what happens.